Chapter 45 Path to Liberation. We need to undertake a study not with respect to a particular subject or related to any object, but a study in unraveling the mysteries of life and of our own self. This study would help us be practical in our day-to-day life and also pave the way for recognizing or contemplating and realizing ourselves. We experience a lot of disturbances and difficulties at various levels of our activities during the day. Unless we are collected and calm within, we are bound to be disturbed and depressed outside. So, a little concentration in trying to analyze why we are disturbed is important. As humans, all of us have a great desire to be free. We are, however, bound by the continuous cycle of births and deaths. Therefore, within this short lifespan, we should use our lives for the betterment of us as individuals and also for the betterment of the world. In the present day world, we seem to take pleasure in the failures, sufferings, and downfall of others. This is evident from the fact that violent sports like wrestling, bullfighting, boxing, etc. enjoy huge popularity among the people. In countries like Arabia, children are tied to camels and are used in camel races. Even in films, the villains or anti-heroes seem to be more appreciated than the heroes. This violent outlook of man not only affects him as an individual but also has widespread repercussions in the external environment. This is because the world is a mere reflection of the attitudes and feelings of its inhabitants. If the entire humanity is vibrant with violent emotions, then the cosmic laws cannot be expected to remain calm. The 5 elements which constitute the world reciprocate or react to our violent behavior by exhibiting similar violence in the form of fire, flood, volcanoes, earthquakes, etc., all of which we attribute to God's wrath, not realizing that it is we who are to be blamed for these occurrences. Therefore, we have to develop the desire to meditate and become calm and spiritual. A single candle can light the entire room. Similarly, even if there are a few individuals in this world who pray for the welfare of the entire humanity, then the world will not be subject to such disturbances. But unfortunately, man is preoccupied with materialistic and worldly desires and has attached more importance to the process of acquiring money rather than applying his time and energy for the welfare of mankind. God has created this world as a plaything. When God Himself can treat this world as a sport and play with our lives, we as His creations should also treat this life as a game to be played sportively without attaching importance to either gain or loss or winning or defeat. What is essential is mere participation in the game and playing it to the best of our efforts. Ekam sat vipra bahuta vadanti. This means there is only one truth from which many varieties emerge. Therefore, the various creations of this world, the mountains, sea, human beings, animals, and all other forms are created, protected, and destroyed by one supreme power called God. To understand this supreme power, in the past, people resorted to meditation and started using the cosmic vibrations. The people who attained the supreme power, who witnessed the power or light in the form of mantras, were called seers or mantradhrashtas. These were transmitted to their disciples in the form of Vedas or Shrutis. And the sages also wrote about how one should conduct his life and the values of life one has to uphold. These values came to be known as Smritis. The Vedas, Shrutis, and Smritis were very complex and beyond the level of understanding of the common man. Hence, these concepts were portrayed through persons like Rama, Krishna, etc. This personification took the form of Puranas, which were personal in nature in contrast to the impersonal Vedas and Smritis. Man tried to attain the highest truth through mantras, pujas, and rituals. Those who involved themselves in these activities were called as Brahmins. Those who ruled the people or the kings were called Kshatriyas. The business community was referred to as Vaishyas, and the people who served all these three classes were termed as Shudras. Thus, the entire society was divided into 4 groups, and all the 4 were necessary to form a complete and compact society. The members of the Brahmin class who performed their duties were assured liberation, and the members of the remaining classes, if they performed their duties, were assured birth as Brahmins in their next birth. Each, therefore, was assured different places in evolution. A person, as an individual, should be a representation of all the 4 classes. As a Brahmin, he should seek the truth within himself, in his heart. He should have the mind, body, and strength of a king to fight against anything. He should be as rich as a Vaishya and should preferably do his work by himself, which means that he is also a person who serves his own needs. There is a saying that Brahmanosya Mukhamasit. That is, the intelligence of God lies within the Brahmin. He has the heart to find out the truth. Therefore, the term Brahmin can be used to any individual irrespective of caste who uses his intellect to seek the truth. Therefore, we should use our mind and body to strengthen the forces of control, our intelligence for realizing the purpose of life, and our heart as a dwelling place for God. Irrespective of the number of years we may live, liberation should be the purpose of our lives. This liberation requires not merely rituals and intellect, but an understanding of the force or spirit which is not connected to and is beyond these rituals and our intellect. Once we start working towards attaining this liberation, which is backed by an earnest wish to acquire it, our doubts vanish, we become more clear about the concept, and liberation is granted in phases. We should lead a life devoid of hypocrisy in the sense that our actions and words should be a representation of our thoughts. A minister was once interviewing a prospective candidate for the post of sheriff. At the end of the interview, he asked the prospective candidate if he was in the habit of taking alcohol. The person replied that his answer would depend on whether the question was an inquiry or an invitation. This is the way in which all of us are leading our lives, putting on a mask and changing ourselves according to the circumstances without revealing our true self. This kind of double life should be avoided, and we should learn to live by the truth and for the truth. We should realize that love is the instrument to unravel the mysteries of truth. Therefore, we should extend our love to everyone without any barrier so that it would help us to develop self-respect, self-recognition, and ultimately self-realization. An invitation to achieve self-realization is open to all, and God is ever willing to bestow this to a true seeker of truth. Therefore, we should strive towards achieving realization and let the wisdom of God dawn in our hearts.